Yo, boys, back with another video. Today we're doing Restored Warrior, and we ended up pushing 1800, and overall it wasn't that bad. We ended up going 18 and 0 all the way up to 1600, and then after that, I just started facing people that were like 2150. So what we're doing is we're just keeping up our stacks and basically just spamming our enrage ramp or whatever it's called. I think it's number two on my whatever. I don't even know. I've been playing Warrior for like not even 2 days, so whatever. So I end up reflecting his clone and then clicking all my buttons. So as you can see, we're just pumping him. And there's not much he can really do. If he disarms me at this point, I just trinket. If he stuns me, I trinket and he's just dead. So we end up taking him out. Not much he can do about that one. End up getting a fresh old W. For the next game here, I don't really like going rogues. I like going priest, especially versus rogues, because they can just they can disarm into evasion, and you only want to trinket versus assassination rogue when he vendettas you. No matter what, you only really have to trade when you have to. So, see, as you can see, he didn't click anything, so I'm just gonna instantaneously not trinket. I leap to him here. Now, a lot of people will trinket that kidney because you're popping burst, but it's really not worth it, especially you've already gotten your cooldowns you needed to. So he ends up trinketing my stun. The rogue, we get rogue's trinket as well. I still have disarm, so in case he wants kidney, I could pre-disarm him, but I don't. Kidneys me, he vendettas there. We're going to instantly swap out wall. So on his vendetta, we wall. As you can see, they don't really get anything else. I mean, my guy Ironbark's on top of it, but that's really the only time he's going to be able to kill us is on vendetta, so really good. He's trying to mind control me, which is really good for us because the longer that we can make him not heal himself is the better for us. As you can see, I'm just keeping up my stacks to 8, and then I'm just spamming to get burst procs that can just unhealable dam. So I'm just keeping him dead, and at this point there's nothing he can do. I thought he was res for a bit, so I ended up kiting him. I didn't want to touch him for right now because I saw him healing, so I was like, he's probably res. He ended up not being res. So I pre-intervened because I know he has blind. I figured he was just gonna blind and then go him, but he didn't, and he ends up leaving. So fresh old W. For the next game here, we end up facing a priest hunter. I like going priest. I don't really like going hunter because they can just feign death my slow and then kite me. So I end up just keeping my stacks up. I double fear. I stun. I end up blade storming because of my burst. I end up canceling it. And as you can see, we end up pumping here a little bit. We kick him, and we almost do kill him here. It was really close. Yeah, I have a cancel macro, so I can cancel it anytime I want, because I want to keep my rampage stacks up, if possible, especially versus Disc Priest, because they have a really hard time healing through my damage. I end up trinketing the stun here, because I'm trying to keep up my dam, and as you can see, we're kind of just pumping him. There's really nothing he can do. He domes here, but at this point, he's really low. So we're just keeping up our stacks. We actually stun him off this, and then by the time our stun's off, in about 2 seconds, we'll have a kick. So he ends up getting a heal here, but as you can see, my stacks are just outweighing his healing, and basically at this point, it's like 60% dampening, like for all together. Because my 40 and the 20 that starts out, I have 60% MS the entire game. So the first game we faced these guys, they beat us. This is the second game, and then I faced them on my mains twice, and I beat them twice. It was pretty easy on stream. We just killed the hunter pretty simply. But I'm running double leap here because they were just trying to kite me out. I decided to go rogue, so he almost one shots me. So I end up fearing the rogue and then basically stunning the hunter on his burst. So I basically stopped their go. They don't get anything from us, which is insanely good for us. I end up ignore painting. So anytime I have that up, I'm gonna use it. I end up going hunter for a bit because the rogue was just kiting me, but then I was like, rogue only has 80k. He has about my gear, so I'm gonna try to go him. I end up getting rooted here, and I don't know how the rogue got away. I feel like I got him out a few times, but whatever. I end up slowing him, or slowing his pet. He ends up blinding me here. Cheap shots. He actually breaks the blind. I intervene his kidney, so now they don't have really a solid go here. They're going to go me off this. I end up stunning him, as you can see, and we end up doing a little bit damn. Keeping our actually, we're not even running the stacks here. I end up winning him out instantly on his night elf. If the druid could have kept him on here, it would have been really good. But I figured he would have just been over here. He ended up not being. This is why double chart or double leap is really good, because I can get to them fast. It's really insane, especially especially when you don't need MS. When MS is not needed, that's what I run. I run leap. So as you can see, they kidney me here. I'm gonna intervene, so I end up intervening, and I also pre-rallied their kidney. So really good pre-rally. They probably would have killed him if it wasn't for the pre-rally. But yeah, he ends up there was a really good pre right there. So he ends up doing the circle thing, and he ends up stepping right back to where he started. He wastes cloak. My druid needs to be on this rogue. He needs to be on him and not giving him a ring. As you can see, I'm kind of running around in circles because I can't actually do anything to catch him. I end up fearing the hunter here. So I'm trying to get to him still. He ended up cheap shotting me. I trinket this one because I was so irritated. I was trying to get him. So my guy needs to instantaneously go after him. I end up blade storming, canceling, and as you can see, I'm just ring around the rosy at this point. This is when like a root is needed or something like that. He ends up roaring and really good. I think he stuns off this. No, I do, and we end up killing him. And by the way, this is all in 1600 gear, so we're playing 2K 2100 CR. I think right now we're 30-7. So our record right now in twos is 30-7, which is pretty incredible. It's 1600 gear at 2100 and more. So he ends up trying to pop off here. Obviously, I'm just gonna disarm it, and it's basically over for him. And the MMR looked to be at 2060. So, um, this game was actually not okay. This was an annoying game because they have a lot of CC, and I ended up running double charge because if I wanted to go to mage because if I don't go mage that I'm just going to be getting CC'd for decades, and if I go Druid, he's just going to bear form the entire game while the Mage shapes. So I was forced basically to go Mage here. They end up getting good stun, my guy stuns him. I think he Cyclones him off it maybe. So as you can see, I end up popping off here. I Blade Storm. I'm not going to cancel Blade Storm until after he tries to sheep me. So as you see, he missed the sheep. He ends up DR stunning me. I'm going to ignore plane and reflect. So this is on a Busco, and they don't have any CC. Now, the thing is, they did get my Druid's Trinket, which probably didn't need to, but whatever. So I still have Wall, and I have Trinket, so I'm going to hold Trinket for... When you're facing a double DBS, you gotta... It's more about the long game. So the longer we don't use something is the better. I think I'm using double leap here as well, because I knew the mage was just going to kite me. I probably could have run stun, especially since he was Shimmer. So if I ever face him again, I would run I'd run stun, because stun into Shimmer is really good. I thought he would have run Blink Stun because that's Blink Stun is really broken on top of the comp they're playing, but he's not running it, so you know it's really bad. He actually I guess he knew that I was gonna run, so we end up just pumping him. So our goal was just to keep doing that. And we end up shattering his. See if he stopped it. So let's say he had Trinket and he stopped it, would have been really good. This is actually like how we won because my guy stunned the Druid. He ends up altering, and he's pretty much dead at this point. His Druid legit has to peel perfectly at this point. I knew that, so this is a really good setup by them. I could have pre-rallied, but I'm gonna Trinket Wall because I knew this guy's dead. He's not gonna be able to survive much longer. I just gotta stay on him and keep pumping. Just don't let him run away. As you can see, I'm just doing as much damage as possible. I'm just keeping up with the pressure. I have leap. I end up using a leap here. I end up using it again when he dispels. Nope, it just came out. If he dispelled me a little bit sooner, but as you can see, he's kind of running away here. He ends up pre-sheeping me. He pre-sheeps again on the dispel. He ends up healing him with, and this is the crazy thing. Sheep and Cyclone don't DR, so I can sit in a lot of CC. So I end up just going back to the mage, and our goal is just keep going. So I'm fully DR'd. There's nothing they can peel off me, and I have all my bursts coming up. Had they waited to do that until all my bursts came up, they might have had a better chance. So they end up stunning me, but I'm still DR'd on everything. So like if they even tried to go for something, it wouldn't do nothing. So I end up every stun that they do damage on, I want to try to intervene it. So as you can see, I pop off here. I basically have unlimited charges while I have my number 2 button up, and it's pretty much GG. So here I decided to go rogue when I need to go mage. Now had my druid, so as you can see, I kill the minions when it's a 1v1. So anytime it's a 1v1 and he uses it like this, you want to kill these minions because they take 20% less damage when he has it up. So I end up reflecting his sheep here because he wanted to get a pre-sheep. I think he still gets it. My guy dispels. So I'm kind of just doing damage. Now, if my guy could have kept up with the stack, we end up getting Trinket for free. He ends up busting here without even a stun. They end up blinding. So I don't have Blade Storm to pre, which I probably could have saved. He ends up Ring of Firing. We trade Wall. We're going to hold Trinket here. Really saying that we hold, too. So this was a really good hold for us, which it could have been really bad. I end up double fearing here. He ends up disarming. Not much I can do about it. I end up slowing him. And I end up popping off a little bit of damage here, and he ends up just evasioning it, which kind of sucks, but whatever, it is what it is. He sheeps my Dispel. He sheeps again. He ends up cloaking air, so I don't know why he would cloak air. My Druid actually keeps him in combat here, which was, or actually, never mind, I guess I do. I end up blading him out with the good old Swirlwind, or whatever it's called, I don't even know. He ends up DBing me, and Yeah, see, this is what my guy needed to be doing the entire game. Now, he was stopping setups by not, like, being right on him, but the problem is I was going rogue, so he needs to be on top of him. So he needs a dispel before they can open, so he ends up getting the dispel. He actually roars the rogue out, which is really good for us. I end up charging him. I cancel my Blade Storm to do damage, and right on that, I probably could have hold my Blade Storm, but it was just kind of an awkward spot. I end up Necro Shielding. This was a really good Necro Shield because the mage doesn't have kick, and now they've done all their CC on my Druid. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go rogue when he can just kite me. There's no point. I have to go mage at this point. Now I would just any warrior out there, just go mage, don't go rogue, because if you go the rogue, he's just never gonna die. He's just not gonna die unless your druid can like stay on him. So here I have trinket and wall. He ends up typhooning the setup there, so they didn't even get a setup, which really lost in the game. So I tell him to go on the other side so he can go on them. So he needs to be getting on this rogue. He needs to be sitting on the rogue right now. It's off. Everything's on DR. Now they could set up, and he goes the opposite way. So the rogue's getting free restells, which is the worst thing for a rogue mage. So he needs to be right on them. I ended up getting the eyeball because thankfully, I had a lot of cooldowns left. And this rogue mage wasn't really that good. They didn't play that good overall. Their opener was really whack. The mage ended up busting on it. Like if they got a good, if they stunned it and then bust, they would have got way more than just busting and then doing their setup. Because by the time they did their setup, it was like 7 seconds. So I end up popping damage, or actually I get a lot of procs here, which is insane. And then I end up getting his block. So I think we get block here. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. We end up dispelling the sheep. This is their setup. He actually pre-roars the setup. He DBs here. I end up fearing. Nope, couldn't get it, so I end up trinket fearing. And this is a really good spot for us, not gonna lie. I end up I'm not gonna go through that. I'm gonna shadow rethrow. He ends up disarming me, not a big deal. At this point, I have every cooldown, and he has no altar, so I'm just gonna pop all my damage because it takes me out of roots because I'm necro. I end up reflecting the sheep, and now he can dispel the next sheep. I end up stunning the rogue so he can't stun me. He ends up stunning me. I have wall, so as soon as they click buttons, so he trinkets, I'm going to use my wall, and he's dead. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more warrior in the future, let me know. I'm also working on a warlock and all that good stuff. I'm going to get warrior to 1800 and then go straight to 1950. See you guys in the next video.